the Shlicketty DooCast. Oh my God, 87, episode 87. My name is Aaron Forsyth, and I got Mike Anderson over here. We got a fun-filled show for you today. We kind of did some prep. We kind of didn't. You never know what you're gonna get. You just gotta reach in the bag and see. You know, pull a Prince Baron, reach in the old arm of the tree there and see if you're gonna get bit by the monster or not. Old reference. All right, let's see if Mike knows the reference I just did.
Yes, here we are, episode 87.
What was my reference, Mike?
What'd you say again?
I said, oh, you gotta be like Prince Baron and reach into the nook of the tree.
Oh, that's Flash Gordon.
There we go, Flash Gordon.
That's the old, yeah.
Yeah.
The old Flash Gordon. That was the first time I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
That gag.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Well, that was a full-on HBO one for me.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater. That was one of those, the parents drop you off, and I went and saw it by myself. And I was like, whoa. And it was kind of long. I remember thinking as a young kid, it being really long.
It is an epic journey. It's an epic tale.
And I remember even as like being maybe 9, 10, I remember the hokiness of the wings flying, the wings of the Hawkmen.
The Hawkmen, yeah.
The Hawkmen wings were the worst.
Well, they were practical effects.
It was bad. It was bad, and I was 10, and it was bad. But I liked it, and I really liked the Queen song in it. You know, the Queen song hyped me up.
Yeah. The whole
yeah,
the theme song and all the music in it.
Yeah.
And
there's little nuances like set design, like Wizard of Oz set design stuff. That was pretty cool.
It was very sort of what do they say, like seminal, very sort of like visually, a sort of visual style, the way they did stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like a lot of it, but it definitely had a feel, a look, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff was sort of like overlit, and then they were using a filter on the camera, so all the highlights were like star-shaped and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of parlor tricks and it was super written hokey. I mean, the fact he was a football guy and then he was throwing that watermelon around, you know.
Yeah.
You know, in his shirt that said Flash on it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was super hooky, and the love interest girl.
But that's the way they did comic book movies back then. They were
it
fairly
was almost
hokey
an
like
homage to a '50s comic book.
It is, 100%, because it's the Flash Gordon.
Yeah. So, but for entertainment purposes, it was fine. That would have been a good one to be a set designer on, because that's up there. That should go down in the top 20 set designs. You know.
I mean, you know,
a lot of fun.
Top 2 things if you got a budget, if you're doing that sort of set design: shiny floors. Lots of floor-to-ceiling curtains, you know.
Yeah, there was a lot of curtains. There's a lot of swoopy, chromes and brasses that were like, you know, metallic-y things.
Yep.
Shine.
Reflecting the lights around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Ridley Scott tricks of like darkness, smoke, and then, you know, make it drooling.
Yeah. It almost had an Art Deco feel kind of to it.
Yeah, it did. A lot of really basic geometric patterns, you know, big circular openings and you know, like little plinths, you know, and stairs.
Gordon, what a hunk of junk! I'm surprised nobody's really. That seems like one they would have tried to, like in the early 2000s, reboot it. Did they try that? Did anyone do it?
No, I don't think so.
That seems like something that, you know. Oh, let's reboot it and let's put you know.
It's not a bad idea. Like a big budget reboot. Like if they did it right. If they got a good script, solid script.
Yeah.
Got a couple of really good.
Yeah, you don't have to pump
actors.
wicked numbers or budget into it, but if you gave it its due, it could be all right.
Yeah.
Or if you made it like a eight episode series on, like, you know.
Oh.
You know, and let it stretch out, and maybe get some character building in there, and get some more nuances, tech nuances in there.
Now that you mention it in terms of like a Netflixy type show with episodes, I mean, that's what it originally was.
Yeah.
It was like a comic strip, and then they'd serialize it into those like 10-minute, what were they? Like 15 minutes?
Serials.
Yeah, like serialized.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just never was a big fan of that weird when you mix magic and technology.
Yeah, and the sci-fi.
Yeah, which is fine. I like one or the other personally, but when it's done in a cornbally way like that, but I guess if it's homage.
It is sort of cornbally. But it's like if you go for that sort of retro futuristic sort of vibe and you nail it right, could be fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like
in the way Raiders of the Lost Ark was. That's the same thing that.
What's
that
the
was
Will
doing.
Smith steampunk one?
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, You know how they have all that weird steampunky stuff, but it was kind of cool. When you think about it, you got to disband belief. You got to go, okay, stop picking this apart and just go for the ride.
That's what I'm saying. It can be fun if done right, stylish.
I know that's my problem. I go on these movies and I'm kind of rigid in my thinking, and I always think I gotta just let this unfold like a story. You know, instead of thinking like, oh, this has to be a.
Yeah, it depends on the intent, how it's done.
Yeah, the intent.
All right, programming note for everybody. Just so they know, we're filming Aaron with a different camera today.
So if it looks weird, something happens.
Yeah, this is all just a test. We're gonna roll with it. It's okay now. Hopefully it'll hold up later.
But if you see something weird with my camera done, you don't have to tell us. We're aware. Chances are, if you notice it, we've noticed it 10 times.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Don't worry. It's okay.
Don't worry. We'll get maintenance on it.
Yeah, we're gonna try it. If it ends up being like a mess later, then we'll go back. You know, something like that.
Yeah. But we'll go back to what we've been doing. But we're trying a new camera on me, so.
Yeah. It's a test. It's only a test.
But let's see. Oh, I got stuff. You got stuff you want to throw out there? I got a couple weird ideas. They're not really weird ideas. It's not even bits. It's just kind of like things I did some show prep.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I jotted down a couple of things. Nothing major.
Yeah.
To talk about.
All right, lay one on me.
Oh, you want me?
Yeah, start first.
I
did Flash Gordon.
Let me look at these couple of things. Okay, it's like I got a small, medium, and a large. Here's like sort of a pet peeve that I came across today.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Let's not over peeve, because one of my bits or one of my things is going to be movie annoyances.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so it won't trample on movie annoyances.
No. This peeve is the phrase "not gonna lie."
Not gonna lie.
I hate this phrase.
Yeah. Well, how about the text version of NGL?
Never came across that.
You never did? Oh, that's pretty big.
That's
not gonna lie. Like in Reddit threads, or you'll see it on. People put NGL. Not gonna lie. Capital N, capital G, capital L. Yeah, it makes its way to texts and threads, and therefore it would double annoy you in that form.
Yeah, 100%.
Not gonna lie.
100%. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hear it.
There's another one that's similar to that is TBH. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put the TBH there.
No, but people saying, not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
It's so pointlessly rhetorical. I feel like, I know it's just in the vernacular now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's all from Paul Tuttle Jr. on American Chopper.
No, the world doesn't. No one listens to American Chopper.
Dude, back when that show was on, make faces all you want. That show
I've never seen. I'm aware of it. Well, that's pretty obscure in our world. American Chopper,
dude. When that show was out, it was huge. It ran for like 10 or 11 seasons or something. Yeah, shockingly long amount of time. Every time they talk to Paul Jr., he's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, every time.
Yeah, not gonna. I have heard people have always.
And I think that got it into. Yeah, since then, I feel like
it's been going, and he just kind of overdid it and popularized it. Perhaps I could believe that.
I think he 100% popularized it. I don't think it was around much at all, hardly before that.
Not gonna lie. I don't know. I feel like that could have been anywhere. It could have been anything from. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really see it popping up much before American Chopper over there. I mean, that show's huge. Now, since then, it's been in the lexicon since, I don't know what, maybe 2006 or something? I don't know when that was on.
Oh, it's got to be before that. I was thinking, like, even when I was in grade school, I picture kids saying, not going to lie, I'm going to do that,
No, that's not the phrase, like, not going to lie, like he does. Like, that's just kids
You're
being
saying
like,
using it like people using it like their own catchphrase. Like, that was his catchphrase.
I don't think he realized he was doing it. He just said it all
like
the time.
A nervous twitch. Like he's nervous in front of the camera, so as he's about to explain something, to kind of parlay and pony up his swing, his vernacular swing, he goes, not going to lie, I got to get this together before 5 o'clock,
He'd do it on the positive side, go, not going to lie, that's a pretty sweet motorcycle. Or he'd do it on the negative side. Not going to lie, that was not looking good.
Yeah. I couldn't picture him. I almost picture like Rick from Pawn Stars saying it.
I didn't watch Pawn Stars much.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I like Pawn Stars.
Ugh.
Other than he's a rip-off artist.
Yeah, I guess that's a fact.
But I do like the idea of seeing all
scammers.
these things come into the store.
Yeah, no, Paul Tuttle Jr., man, all the time with the Not Gonna Lie. Because I feel like that
NGL.
Pawn Stars was after the fact.
Uh-huh.
I was in the wake of it.
Yeah.
That and Swamp People and Ice Road Truckers.
Ooh, yeah.
But anyway, the Not Gonna Lie phrase, it makes me nuts. I think now it's been in the vernacular for like 15 years. So I think everybody's just used to it. And the younger generation uses it all the time. Not gonna lie, fucking hate it.
Not gonna lie.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's
like saying to be honest. It's like it's something you say when you're not being honest.
I think it's better to go, dude, look at how much more powerful this is. Honestly, now you're on the edge of your seat. You're waiting to see what I'm gonna say next.
Honestly, I'm not. That's right. See,
fuck yeah,
but
you
if
are.
I go, to be honest, yeah, you're kind of softening the.
Yeah, but rather than going, not gonna lie, it's like, well,
Yeah,
I
that
wasn't
stinks.
expecting you to lie.
That stinks.
Yeah, it stinks. Whereas
Yeah.
if you go, look, honestly,
Do you got an adaptation? Because it's funny, because that kind of ties into one of my ideas here I had for. I think I had quite the opposite. Cool words. Words you really do. You like saying a cool word.
you know what?
Give me a cool. What's a cool word? When it rolls out of your tongue, you go, "That's a cool word."
Oh, just the word itself?
Yeah.
I know. I say a lot of the time. I say, you know what? I do that a lot. It's one of those attention grabbers. You know what? People are like, whoa, what?
Oh, but that's not a cool word.
No. Cool
That's
word.
kind of like not gonna lie.
Cool word. I had a cool word the other day. Like sometimes you just hear a word or it just kind of rattles around in your brain.
Right, I do that too. Yeah, the word will be kind of cool, so it'll kind of bounce around in my head like I can't let it go. Like the word Zamboni was going around in my head for a while.
Yeah,
It's
well, yeah.
Zamboni.
Zamboni just rolls off the tongue.
Zamboni. What a word.
It's great. You got that Zam up front, like it's one of those biff bang booms, and then you got Boney at the end, which is like sounds like pepperoni.
Yeah, it ends. Yeah, anything that ends with a vowel is pretty cool.
Pepperoni Zamboni.
Yeah, Zamboni. You know, when the Zamboni comes out in hockey, it goes Zamboni.
Yeah, these things are great.
Yeah. Here's another word. I use this one a lot. Plethora.
Plethora is great.
Plethora is a great word. Great word, plethora. Gotta like that one. I have
great.
notwithstanding.
Is that all one word?
Yeah, notwithstanding. Yeah.
All one word, huh?
Yeah.
I would have thought the not would be separate.
Right. Notwithstanding. Notwithstanding. Yeah, I know. That one was kind of tricky. That one was bouncing around my head the other day, and I was like, I don't know what's right. I should have Googled it, but I never did.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Sorghum.
Yeah.
that was spelled weird. Can you spell sorghum?
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
I was going to say, is that with the H or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, sorghum. What a word. Sorghum.
Yeah.
Sorghum. Yeah. I get locked in my office and I don't talk to a lot of people for half a day. So I'll have no human contact. So when a word like sorghum goes around my head and I'm doing stuff and I'm messing around, ting, 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 sorghum.
That's what came with
Sorghum.
the not gonna lie thing. It just kept popping up with the podcast. Fucking comedians keep using it.
Yeah.
It's making me nuts.
That's another one. Oh, existential is the great word.
Existential is always sort of fun.
Yeah. Existential or existentially. You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Because it's 4 syllables.
And the X. You got to give it props if it's got the X, but starts with an E, you know. Existential. Existentially.
I always kind of like the fun word. I think it's fun. Constabulary.
Constabulary. I don't know. I'd never heard that one.
It's like over in England, the police are constables. So like the police station is the constabulary.
Oh, really? Constabulary.
Yeah, it's a real old term.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones you don't hear much anymore.
Yeah.
I sort of like the old terms that nobody uses anymore, like Davenport for a sofa.
I do too. Davenport's kind of classy.
Yeah.
Because a sofa or couch, it just sounds really floppy and lame.
Yeah.
But a Davenport. My grandparents go sit on the Davenport.
What's the difference?
I don't know. Maybe in the old days they were made in Davenport. You know, maybe there's a city near Boston that made couches and it was called From Davenport. You know, I don't know.
Because I know they always used to have like different styles of like couches. Here's another one. The smaller couch, the settee.
Oh, that would be like a love seat.
It's like a love seat, but it only has like a back.
Oh, like half back.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of weird. Yeah, those are kind of cool. It's like you could sit sideways on it.
You know what I think those are for? I think those are for women to sit down in, because when they had the corsets, they can't bend to sit down.
Oh,
so they could just
right.
sort of sit down and sort of lean back a bit.
That would make sense. Okay, that's a good theory on that one. I was thinking they would just go like in the corner of a room or
Right.
corner of a setup. So you'd have something there, you'd have that there, and then something else there.
Yeah.
You know, or yeah, you're right, that, or I could see, yeah, or the lady in the corset sits down and leans on it while her servants put on her, bind her feet or put her feet on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you had much experience with the corset. The girlfriend sometimes wears corsets to the Ren Fest and shit like that.
No, I never did. I mean, I've seen girls in them. I've never seen anyone get in and out of one. I hear it's a sticky mess.
You got to deal with all that sort of clothing, man. You can definitely see why, women back in the day had to have people help them get dressed and shit. It was a hassle.
Yeah.
Whew. Anyway, that's a digression. So we say cool, fun words.
Cool, fun word. That's all I had for cool, fun words. But
I mean, rhubarb's always good.
Rhubarb's real good.
Rhubarb's always fun.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah, exactly. That's always a fun one.
Yeah.
And
if you guys got any cool words, write them down there in the old comments down there. Give us a couple cool words.
All right, I'm going to update my topic list here now that we covered my hate for. Not gonna lie.
We're covering, yeah.
XXX. Okay. Okay. Here's a fun dumb one.
All right.
Speaking of pronunciations, how about pronouncing ant like the insect,
Ant.
and aunt like your mom's sister?
Aunt.
See, you do that? Have you come around on that?
Well, if I go, I'm going over to Aunt Edna's, I say Aunt Edna's.
Growing up, we always said aunt.
Right, but if I always think it's kind of like it's context you use it. If me and you are talking, I go, yeah, we're going to Aunt Edna's. It's aunt. But if you go, my aunt will be over in 10 minutes. If you're talking to an adult, you would say aunt.
And I get it because you got the AU, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like
aunt.
I mean, tell us when we grew up. I mean, it was a homophone. It sounded exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see the case being made for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a firm one on AU being aw and not ow.
Oh, I could make a case for ow. I like ow. But aw,
like audio?
like audio?
No.
It aw.
That's what I'm saying. It's
audio.
Aw. It's audio.
Right.
Not
So it'd be
audio.
aunt.
Yeah, it's not aunt.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah. AU is aw.
Well, the English language is quite tricky when you think about it. We take it for granted. We use it every day pretty good, but it's the hardest one to learn, they say.
That's what they say, man, but I've been learning Portuguese.
Yeah, but our brains are wired differently. See, we're wired with the hardest of them all. But I would think
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I would think like Chinese and stuff like that would be hard because they've got, so many different words for words.
You know the nutty thing about like Chinese and I think Japanese and Korean and stuff? So it'll be the same written word, but it'll have different meanings depending on your inflection of how you say it.
Right. So if you go la la or la la, it's different.
Like for example, I know I messed around with studying Japanese a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I know that in Japanese, go, G-O, means 5, or it also means like language. Like in Japan, they call Japan Nihon. Ni, N-I, means sun, and hon, H-O-N, means source. So the Japanese call Japan Nihon, sun source.
Yeah.
Right? So the Japanese language in Japanese is Nihongo. Japanese language. Because go means language. Or 5, depending on usage.
Huh.
But they don't tell you.
Huh.
So you have to get it from the context.
Yeah.
But that's where you get these sort of like linguistic plays on things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then you got to factor in aerial dialects, slang.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Well, that's the whole thing with Chinese is like there's Mandarin and then there's Cantonese.
Right. But I'm sure they have their own version of northern, southern, eastern, western slangs.
Oh, definitely regional stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys on the China show on YouTube, back when they were living in China, they would get on their motorcycles and do like the tour of like northern China. And so you meet all these different groups that live in the mountains and stuff like that. And if they're closer to Nepal, you know, they have a different dialect and all that sort of stuff.
English though is wackadoo. Wackadoo.
That's what people say, but I don't know, man. Look, I mean, English is clear enough that English is the language of business. English is the language of contracts and legal stuff.
True. The Queen's English, but I mean, but I mean, you factor in, all right, like I heard this guy talking the other day in the store, you know, he was behind one of those betting machines, those casino machines.
Oh man, those.
And he's talking all kinds of jive. And I gotta say, I didn't understand a goddamn word he said. He was like, "Come on, down."
That's because
it was like, holy Christ, this guy's speaking a different language.
That's because he's not enunciating.
Right. But it sounded like he was, from the Florida Everglades.
Yeah, but by the same token, there's stuff that I can pull up on the internet of people from. There was this TV show of these people in Scotland and Glasgow that were living in these housing estates. They don't enunciate shit either. It just sounds like yeah. It just sounds like gibberish.
Yeah. And when you think of those real deep West Virginia accents are like, whoa.
Once again, they're just rounding off all the ends of the words and everything.
Just like
they're not enunciating. They're not pronunciating. You know.
Yes.
So it just, I mean, you can definitely talk sloppy and they'll slur all your shit together, but it doesn't really help anything. I mean, honestly.
But I mean, then you talk like a Boston accent as opposed to like, Boston as opposed to,
Boston, I feel like there's a weird thing with the A's.
Yeah, Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah.
O's are ah.
It's like that nasal ah.
Yeah.
Because for me, A's are A, like the letter A. That's how you say it. You don't go ah. Like, it's not A, B, C. Like, no.
Yeah. You don't say aspirin.
Unless you're from Boston.
Oh, God.
With the aspirin.
I find that very annoying. But
you take the car to a party. It's just an ah thing. Like nobody says ah like that except them.
No.
You say a or ah, which is the short one.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's annoying.
Anyway, talking about language. All right.
Yeah.
So I have different topics on different levels.
All right, what do we got?
But I want to do the pronunciation one, just get that done. All right, here's one. All right, actually, since we're on the linguistic one, how about this one? The difference between past, like the past, P-A-S-T, and past, P-A-S-S-E-D.
Oh, like he passed the test.
Right.
Or I'm past due on my library book.
Right.
Well, they're two different words.
Right.
They just sound the same.
Yeah. Yeah, they pretty much sound the same, right?
Yeah, that's like bass and like a bass and bass.
Yeah. But at least those are pronounced different.
Yeah, true. Yeah, past, I could see where the ED thing. And remember the old rule we used to have in school, the I before E except after D? That kind of shit, I could see that. I see that fucks up a lot of people. It's always fucked me up.
Yeah, but you just kind of go with that rule, and most of the time you're okay. I mean, there's exceptions to it, but most of the time you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
fine. Once you learn I before E except after C when followed by G and sometimes Y, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, there was one time I was reading something, like someone had used like they were saying the date had passed, P-A-S-S-E-D.
Yeah.
And for a minute I was like, okay. And I was like, no, wait a minute. That's not right at all.
The date had passed.
No, I guess that is right.
That is right, yeah, like it passed us up.
Because the past, as a noun, is a concept of time.
With T.
Like the present, the future, the past.
Yeah, but in theory, the P-A-S-T should not even be a word. That should be banned from the books, and it should be the past. It's what's...
So it should be under T's in the dictionary. The past. No, but you're right, because it is specifically only used in that function of the past.
Yeah.
It was in the past. It already happened. It's in the past.
But if you're to say, like, it'd be a fun band name, The Past, but it'd be P-A-S-S-E-D. The past. Like we are the ones who have been passed up.
That's what they always
The
say about
leftovers.
doing the Comedy Store in L.A. It's like you gotta get passed to be able to do sets there.
Yeah.
So they're the past.
Mm-hmm.
Those who have been approved to get inside the fancy club. You got past the bouncer.
Yeah, there's
passed the test.
Yeah, passed.
Right? Isn't that nutty? That's weird.
That's nutty.
All right. So we'll mark that one off. All right. Here's a little idea for discussion. Zoos. Is this an idea that's past its time?
There's past again.
That's actually why I came up and I wrote it down.
Zoos. Well, I think zoos, I don't think they should make new zoos. I think they should just keep upgrading and working the zoos we have. Because I'm not a big fan of the zoo, but I'm also a fan of, these animals have been living in captivity so long, they're not going to make it in the wild. No. So let's just keep the zoos we have and keep adding to them. You know what I mean? And making them nice and nice and nice. And that's why I always donate to the zoo. I go to the zoo to give them money. I don't get some sick pleasure, It
actually depresses me, the animals in the cages. It really bums me out.
Yeah, like when I see like a glorious orangutan, like how glorious of a beast that is. And it's just sitting there sad, it breaks my heart. But then on the other hand, I go, well, it's better that I come here, give them money, and they have more money to sink back in, and let's hope the operation's above board, and let this orangutan live a good life.
Sure. But I'm just saying, I
support the zoo, but I don't like the idea of new zoos.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like this is an idea that's really past its time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this made sense for Henry VIII in 1500s. Sitting there. Look, nobody got anywhere in England or whatever, and there weren't a lot of like travel going on and vacations and stuff like that. So animals,
to show somebody a giraffe who'd never heard of a giraffe would be a mind blower.
A rhinoceros would be like, oh my God, what's this monster? Elephant was like mind blowing.
Yeah,
that was the thing. That's how circuses and stuff like that would get by just on the crazy novelty of it, like the nutty monkeys. Imagine if you never knew a monkey existed, then you're like, whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
So I feel like at that time it made sense.
But humans are assholes, and they exploited the animals, and they always do. And up until, I feel like up until about maybe 1998, in 95, animals are totally exploited, even through the 80s. Remember when we were kids in the 70s, we'd go to like Marine Land, SeaWorld and shit like that. I don't think...
Yeah, I went to Marine Land up in Canada, I think.
Yeah, and we go to like SeaWorld.
Definitely went to SeaWorld over there in Sandusky.
Things like that, and as kids, we didn't pick up on anything, but I remember my dad thinking that, like, that's not very cool.
I always got that feeling. Like, it was just... The only thing I liked about our zoo here in Erie is, because it's such an old zoo, the architecture. I really like the architecture of the zoo.
Yeah, they do a good job here because it's small, and we don't have too many exotic.
No, it's very small.
Yeah, they had some issues trying to keep the what was the thing that died during COVID? Was
the elephant?
No, it was. Well, that was years ago. We had an elephant, but no, recently during COVID, it died. Was the polar bear? Polar bear always looked a little thin and mangy.
100%.
But the brown grizzly bear they had in the adjacent pen, that did its job. But it was a little thin.
I don't like it. It's all such a bummer. I mean, I like the idea of the zoo, but boy, poor animals. Like, ugh.
Yeah, ones that are from the wild like that. But I mean, like the four hyenas that are in that pen that looked like a backyard, they run and go in circles and shit like that. They get exercise. They do their thing.
Man, horrific hyenas.
Yeah. I don't know. I know. In theory, my instinct says you cannot capture the animals. We should not be doing that. Let's not do that. I do not support, but I don't want to picket or take down the establishment of a zoo because...
No. It's fun. It's good for kids. Kids love it. You know what I mean?
It is a learning mechanism.
But I really feel like it's past its time. To wit, I agree with you. No more new zoos.
Yeah. I say just build the ones we have now and just always fortify the ones we have and make them more modern and better.
Unless somebody like a city really wants to close it down and get out of the business, then I'm sure there's some other city somewhere that wants to have a zoo. They get the zoo now.
Yeah. Like there's around here, we got a smaller one in Erie, But the Columbus Zoo's huge. You know, but the Erie but the Pittsburgh and Cleveland zoos are bigger than Erie, but not much.
When I was a kid, I remember going to the Washington D.C. Zoo, the National Zoo or something like that.
Yeah,
that was a big deal.
Yeah, I remember like going to like Busch Gardens. They used to have animals there. They don't now. But
which one? The Florida one or Virginia one?
Virginia one.
Yeah, they didn't have too much for the animals. The Florida one was crazy with animals.
Yeah, I remember.
I never went to it.
Yeah,
but
I remember the tigers and all those flamingos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a zoo fan. Normally, I would say fuck zoos. That's evil. Let's not do this. But
I feel like once we got the film camera, like everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Or the animals.
I think the smaller ones, like it's neat. Like our zoo has like the little red panda. It's neat to see those in context. They're so cute. You know, I think it's the bigger animals that make me nervous. Like we do have giraffes, but the giraffes they're a little slow but man.
See, that's the thing, man.
To see a giraffe is mind blowing because whoa, that thing's huge.
I mean, what if you had like a chill zoo where you had like sloths and koalas and
we have a sloth. We don't have a koala, but we have a sloth.
That'd be funny.
Because I still remember I could picture the sound of its claws clicking on that cage while it walked across the thing like
walking up the cage. Ugh.
Yeah, it was like walking across the top of the roof of the cage, and you could hear the clicking of its claws.
It's so depressing. I don't like seeing birds in cages. You know what I mean?
But like the otter pen is pretty magical. It's huge. The otters are living a good life. They're having a good time.
I guess so. That's why we named the hockey team after them.
Yeah, the otters are swimming and everything. All right.
Oh my God. Yeah. So what are we saying? Zoos are sort of past their time?
They're past their time. I say no new zoos. Let's just keep the ones we got and keep building on them and make everything happy and be nice.
Yeah. What do you think about the idea of that creative ideas sort of just come to you?
Okay. In what context? What do you mean? Wait, say that again?
Creative ideas.
Okay.
They just sort of come to you.
They do, yeah. I always picture it like a bird landing on your windowsill.
Like Mark Norman mentioned something about this on one of the podcasts I was listening to today, where he was saying, normally because he lives in New York City, whenever he leaves someplace, he puts on the headphones, he starts a podcast going. He's always running the audio in his head. But he said lately, he's not been doing that. And he's been getting more ideas. The ideas just occur to him.
Like yeah, because he's got more, he's got his mind's free thought.
Right.
So yes, he's trusting his instincts better now.
Because we always used to talk about this in terms of like, writing songs and getting ideas and that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Like, you never feel like you come up with the idea. You just feel like for a minute your brain shut the hell up and something just popped in there.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual possession for a second.
Yeah. It just
But that's only for the good ideas or the real original ideas. That's only like 1 out of 10. Now the other 9 I would get through, all right, let's just do something and write it down or do, and then you'd forge it like mold it like a piece of clay. But the magical ideas, the ones that are like, whoa, what is that? I got to write that down. You know when that right. Lightning strikes.
Yeah.
But it's rare, and there's no pattern to it, and there's no way to tickle yourself into getting one. It could be 3 a.m, it could be 8 a.m, it could be, you could be in the middle of Woolworths, or you could be in McDonald's. Who knows how you're going to get the idea? But when it happens, you just got to say it in your phone or write it down, however you do it.
But it's definitely a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
Definitely a thing.
Definitely a thing.
I've definitely had it.
Yeah. And I have more creative days when I could tell. Sure, I haven't came up with anything today, but I could tell when the endorphins are swimming and activated. I almost picture your brain like a lava lamp, and sometimes those little neurons are going slow, and then some days they're heated up, so they're moving. Yeah. And like say a day like today, I didn't really make anything too creative, but I could tell what I was doing, on the computer, and I was writing a little bit. I could tell the neurons were moving more. So I felt like, I'm having a creative day. I could tell the serotonins or whatever that is. You
know why?
Huh?
Because it was sunny day.
Really?
Yeah.
You had a little bit of sun. Probably that's it. I get activated.
Yeah.
Because when it's been gloomy for 2 weeks, I was just like, I felt like I was kind of rusting. I felt like I had carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
I felt like, my soul is turning gray. All the colors kind of getting sucked out and everything's turning black and gray.
Yeah.
But then when you get a little spot of sunshine, it goes, ring, the color comes back in.
Yeah, I was at work. I looked out the window and it was like, oh my God, sunny. It was sunny and all the snow melted because of the rain, because it got a little bit warm today. Warm being like, 47.
Yeah.
But all the snow melted and stuff. So I look outside and I see grass and sunshine and I was like, oh my God, all of a sudden I felt so much better.
Yeah, it's activated. I know.
Wonder Twin Powers.
I love it. I love that feeling. But, I know, I hate the gray, and I get so depressed and so like, oh, what's the use? I always say, what's the use?
Oh my God, seriously. Yeah.
What's the use?
It's like the first thought as soon as I achieve consciousness in the morning.
Yeah, it's like, ugh. Well, I don't. I actually wake up kind of happy, like, hey, pets, hey, everybody. What's the use? Like I start with this activation of happiness, and then when real life just goes,
well,
like a Venus flytrap, just fucking eats it.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
I see. Yeah, but in the same sense, you need the depression to make, you need the rain to make the flowers. I hate to be cliche about it, because. Now, okay, let me ask you this. You lived in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
You had 24/7 sun.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Most of the year.
Were you creative and activated all the time?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why when I moved out here, I'm like, let's go, let's do something. Let's go, let's get together, let's make things happen. Let's go, let's go.
No, we move in spurts. We move when the traffic moves, But I think there's a growth to it. Like, it is funny because I remember when you moved out to Arizona and like, what year was that? It was probably 97?
It was actually November 1st was when I left town, 96.
96, okay, that sounds about right. I think you came back in like 2002 or something for a visit. Maybe you're with your dad or your mom or something.
I came back, I was out there like 5 months and I came back for Jones's wedding.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that. But you came back, you were gone a while.
Yeah, I came back.
But I remember you coming back and you had the same sneakers on and the same shirt. Like almost like for you, time didn't go by.
Yes.
But for us, we had already been through 4 thaws.
Yes.
So we kind of molted and morphed.
Yes.
Whereas you were like stuck in a time bubble. You still had the same sneakers, still had the same, Yep. We were all kind of, not laughing, but kind of like, wow, that's kind of strange. Mike hasn't aged a bit.
It is like that out there. It's like being in the elven lands of the undying lands,
You're almost
Time is different out there.
It's like living in a salt mine.
I used to tell Grignell that, and then he moved out there and he's like, yeah, you're right. It's just, the time goes by so fast out there, you don't really notice it because you don't have the season change and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we noticed it here, the season change.
It's just all great all the time, and then it's hotter than the face of the sun, and then it's just all great for the whole time.
That's why, but that's what I don't want is that extreme 120 heat. I wish you could get that sunshine, but not so hot. That's why I think California's the answer.
Oh,
I gotta go to California.
Let's go.
I know, but I can't afford it.
It is the best.
I know. I feel like that's where the place to be.
I mean,
or like a higher elevation, like Sedona or above in Arizona.
Yeah, up there in
I go mountain high.
Prescott, Sedona, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
But I wouldn't go fucking 120. Kill me now. Desert.
I mean, it definitely gets it's
like Phoenix is like. It's like that North Carolina, like over here, Charlotte is hotter and humid as the dickens. But you get up here in the mountains over Nashville, the mountains are so much better. It's
the same way.
10-degree difference. And that 10 degrees makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just wonderful.
Well, yeah, it's also, getting away from the humidity.
Yeah.
They say, that's a dry heat, that sort of stuff. That's a huge thing. Look, I'm here to tell you, man, I grew up here in Erie back when we were in high school and stuff like that. The ice storms and that sort of stuff, man. Like, it was brutal winters for 7 months. You didn't see grass for months.
No.
It was brutal.
We're tough.
Yeah, and then I've lived in the desert of Arizona. I've been down in Brazil. When the first time I went down there, we got down there and it was just, it was getting near the end of the season. It was like one of those Vietnam War movies where it's just like you're in the jungle. It's so hot and sweaty. I mean, I actually had video logs that I took with my first iPad down there, where it was so hot, and the girlfriend's like, "Oh, take a shower, cool off." I get out of the shower, 2 seconds, and then you start sweating.
Yeah, and I can see me being a glasses guy. My glasses constantly
fogged up. Oh my god, it was brutal the first time I was down there. And then after a day and a half, we got some rainstorms came in, and that blew out all that hot, muggy air. And then from then on, it was like perfect summer. You know what I mean?
But I've been to Florida in like August. You know, I mean, I remember going to Florida in August.
Last time I was there, it was in August, and dude,
holy Christ.
It made me nauseous.
Yeah, the humidity is just too much. There's no way to live. I won't do it.
It was terrible. Used to be like that in Virginia when I go down to my parents' house.
Yeah, that can be. That's not as oppressive, but it's close. There's days.
But it's right there. It's right there by the water because they were in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
So that's right there on the Hampton Peninsula.
Yep.
You know, so it's like.
Yeah, we have friends in Newport News. We go
Chesapeake
there.
Bay. Yeah. Newport News is down at the bottom of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I remember last time I did the vacation there and I had the earache. I had to get my ear checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Humidity, I know. But California, I don't know. To me, California just seems like another planet. Like,
it is.
I can't even wrap my head around it, because I'm shipwrecked here.
Anytime you want to go, right?
What I used to think, like, New York used to be, I love it, but it's so mind-blowing. But it's everything all at once.
Dude, California felt amazing.
I could imagine that.
Yeah.
I still have that hippie daydream of just like, getting an old cafe racer motorcycle and going up the coast and just,
You don't need a motorcycle. You can just do it in a convertible.
Okay.
It's fine. It's
like
fine.
a cool vintage car or something. Just,
dude,
flip up my collar, put my coif back, put on some Ray-Bans and like, all right, let's listen to some cool music and drive.
Dude, the stretch right where you're coming up on Pismo Beach.
You can't say Pismo Beach without me thinking of Bugs Bunny.
Daffy Duck, yeah.
Pismo Beach.
Yeah.
And the umbrella comes out of the ground.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The road just curves around. It's on the side of the mountain. You got the beach down here. It's got these big rocks in the sand.
Yeah.
Like giant rocks. It's like, amazing.
I can't imagine. I know. I've seen it in pictures, but I know. I just daydream.
It's amazing. Good time. But,
we're old.
Man, the LA traffic is a nightmare.
Yep, no thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, no thanks. No, I'm thinking upper California, or not upper California. I'm thinking like mid to upper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to that LA South. I mean, unless I had to for biz, but.
Honestly, like, what's up with San Diego? I'm kind of curious.
San Diego? Isn't that warm?
Yeah, it's down at the bottom of it.
Yeah, that'd be probably more warm. I'm picturing that'd be a lot more hotter. That'd be more like I'm picturing that being more like Arizona.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No. No, it's more like if you get sort of like northeast of LA area, you get into like Bakersfield and that sort of stuff. And then just into like Death Valley, Yuma area. But Las Vegas is up there. It's all that thing.
I'd go north, along the coast north.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Up to the wine country. I want to go to wine country.
The wine country is nice. That's where we were.
That's what I'm talking.
For my girlfriend's 50th birthday, we went up to wine country area. Man, it was beautiful. We went to a place called Avila Beach. Man, it was great. I mean, it's right next to a nuclear power facility, but boy, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Because it was like really small town, beachy, seaside California sort of stuff where like, and we were staying just up the road at this resort that was pretty dope, and you could like just like rent a bicycle. It didn't even cost anything. You just sign them out. And we rode down to the beach and then over here to where like all the shops and stuff were. Sat there and drank all day, got all drunk, rode the bikes back. It was a good time. Wow. It was fun.
That's the way to live. That is the way to retire. That's how I want to retire.
In the resort place we were at, there was like the main resort area and all these like little like apartments that you could rent out and stuff like that. And then there was this bridge going across the roadway. And then over here in the trees there were these bungalows. We were over in one of those bungalows. Like hot tub out back and stuff like that. It was great.
When you say bungalow, it's actually 4 walls and a roof, right?
Yeah. But it's on stilts. It's got like a veranda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like a little casita.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, like kind of like a bigger than a tiny house, but like a small house.
Yeah.
On stilts.
Yeah. Yeah, small house. You got a little kitchen. You got a bedroom. You got a little
That's all you need.
TV area. That's all you need.
Yeah, short of, but if you live there, we would need storage.
Yeah. It was just for stay at for a week or something like that.
But if you live there, I'd buy 2 of those.
But there were a bunch of these, because they had this like raised walkway sort of thing, like metal grating and stuff like that. And so you get in the casitas, and then you can take the 6 or 7 steps down to like the ground.
Yeah.
With all the leaves and the sticks and stuff.
It
was fun.
Life would be like a movie then.
It was out in California, so it was like,
So why does everyone hate California? Is it the expense? Is it because it's taxed to death? Is that what they say? Taxing? Why are people like, oh, I gotta get out? Or are they just red hats that want to get out of there because it's a liberal utopia?
I think there's a lot of that.
A lot of that? Or is it taxes like, if you owned a house, so
that too.
Like a $200,000 house here would be $1 million there.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. And so I used to review appraisals for the bank. So
okay.
So out there, it could be like your house now might be 3.1 million. And it'll be, whatever value your house is now, let's say like 150K for the house, and then it would be like, a couple of million for the land because you're close to the water, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've seen places that were like hovels of a house, and the value of the house is $60,000, but the value of the plot of land is like 1.25 million.
Yeah, okay. So the land is actually worth more than whatever shitbird's on top of it.
It's all location.
Yeah, okay.
That's why things get super expensive.
Yeah.
But there are areas that are just like you get like north of LA sort of thing, like Santa Barbara and that wine country area. Because we went up the road to, what was it, that San Simeon? The William Randolph Hearst Castle, whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's a good time, man.
Huh.
Good time to go poke around, see what's what.
Right.
The guy had no taste.
Yeah.
Place was just a melange of styles and ugh.
So why did they stop making? I mean, I know they make movies in California, but so Atlanta gets them, and North Carolina and Atlanta gets all the good movie roles now because what are they not taxing the situation?
It's tax incentives. Yeah, they can get money back. They spend a certain amount of money in the state, then the state will kick it back to them. When I first moved out to Arizona was like that. Arizona was poised to be the new LA.
It was in the late '90s there, into the first of the 2000s. Yes, it was totally.
And then they voted
They
voted in some different Republican governors. They repealed the tax incentive laws, and
then it's just urban sprawl.
Yeah, and so I guess there's a big problem out in California at this point that everything's too expensive to shoot there. Like I keep hearing people on podcasts say it's cheaper to set up a production in Ireland, send the whole cast and crew over to Ireland, put them up in hotels, feed them, rent equipment, and shoot it there than it is to shoot here.
Yeah. Or remember how everything used to be always filmed in Vancouver.
Right. Yeah. Because of the tax write-offs, tax kickbacks, and I don't know why. Vancouver. Yeah, I mean, like especially TV shows.
Yeah.
TV shows were all shot in Vancouver back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like X-Files, that's all Vancouver.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I wonder if that's something California could reverse tracks on.
They need to, because I keep hearing people on podcasts and stuff.
I think that's why. Of course, that's why Texas got the big boom. Austin, Texas, and everything. People moving out of California to Texas because Texas is a lot more tax loosey-goosey.
Well, it's like Joe Rogan's reasoning is tax-wise, I think they don't have state income tax in Texas. And the other thing was Rogan said, as a comedian who travels around the country to do gigs, it's centrally located. So you don't have to fly. You don't have to fly from New York back to LA.
From a flying point of view, yeah.
Yeah, from like you don't have to have a 5.5 hour flight. You never have more than a 3 hour flight.
True, but if that's the case, why wouldn't you just go, okay, why? I guess they want to be warm, so it's consistent temperature. I was going to say, why would you just go to, I don't know, Kansas?
Nothing in Kansas.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But that's the point.
suppose so. You know, that's
They
all
say one of the least. There's no what they say is like cheapest, less taxes, but a great city, a great hidden city, Huntsville, Alabama. You know, shit like that. You know where you go.
Well,
you know, where taxes are real low, your money will go a long way. You know, and if you had 1 mil would go, you'd live like a king.
Yeah, but you know, you're in Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've never enjoyed the South much.
Well, I like going through it. I liked it, but I never.
Although I haven't had a lot of
picture
experience
myself
with it. I mean, I've never been to Louisiana. I've never been to Mississippi. Never been to
that doesn't
Alabama.
interest me.
I drove through like Tennessee and Kentucky and stuff like that, but
Tennessee was pretty.
I mean, I don't know. It was just all highway, and I was just freaked out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The sun
stuff.
may have been down. I'm not even sure. I mean, I drove cross country a couple of times, and the one time I was coming out of Albuquerque, like Albuquerque's crazy. I think it's up on a plateau.
Oh yeah.
I think because I came out of Albuquerque, and all of a sudden,
your ears pop.
No, you're just coming down this giant mesa hill, and all around it's like Roadrunner and Coyote. It's these giant canyons.
Wow.
You know, and it's like, are we coming down off one of these mesa rises? It was like, holy crap.
Wow.
And I'm like, that was the first time I ever saw it, but that was the second time I drove the country. So it must have been dark by the time I got to New Mexico. You might have been doing it
at night and not even picked up on it.
Because I did when I left here in November '96 and went to California. I went down to D.C. I hung out with Rebecca for the weekend, and then I left from D.C. and I stayed the first night in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'll always remember because when I got there, got the hotel room, turned on the TV, The Simpsons was on, and it was the one where Bart gets his driver's license, and they go to the Wig Sphere in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, right.
They're trying to go to the World's Fair. They didn't realize it was like in the 60s.
Right.
So Knoxville, stayed in Knoxville.
Uh-huh.
The next night, I went through, I don't know, whatever, Kentucky, Tennessee, or whatever. I ended up at Mississippi, crossed the Mississippi River.
I've never crossed the Mississippi.
Got into Arkansas.
Yeah.
Oh no, went through Arkansas. I got just inside the Oklahoma border, and I got a place there. Whew, what a shithole.
I picture that like an old. All I can picture is like old abandoned ghost towns.
Yeah.
Like an old Western movie set.
Yeah, almost like a Psycho sort of
like
a hotel.
And literally have dust bunnies going by.
The dude takes me to the room. He goes to put the key in. He touches the doorknob, and the doorknob falls out. I'm like, really? It was so depressing. Like, I hated it. I remember the only thing that saved me was Monday night, so Monday Night Football was on. So some live TV. So I watched some live TV. I went to bed. I got up and left out of there. Sun wasn't even up. It was all foggy outside. There was a gas station across the street. I woke up.
Feet don't fail me now.
That's it, man. I packed everything up, went across, loaded up on gas.
Feet.
I was out of the state before the sun came up.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then the next place I stayed was in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I think it was close to Tucumcari, New Mexico, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next day I drove into Flagstaff, turned left, went down to Phoenix.
Yeah. I've never crossed the Mississippi, which is weird.
It was nutty because...
Is it big? How is it wide?
Yeah.
Can you see, if you're on the edge of the Mississippi River, can you see the other side?
Yeah. You're like, it's way over there.
It's way over there, though.
Yeah. It's
huge.
Yeah, because you're on like a bridge.
Yeah.
But the thing that's nutty is the highway. I think I was on the like 280 or something like that. Whatever comes through like Kentucky and Tennessee and winds its way down. Flip it from your point of view, and you get to Mississippi at the Mississippi River or Memphis, and then you cross there. I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about the
Mississippi River.
Yeah, but just when you get into Memphis, the highway takes you right in the middle of downtown.
Oh.
So you're on the highway driving, then you're in the middle of a major American city.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to Memphis, but I have not crossed the river.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, because if you're there as a destination, you're there, right? Then you're dealing with local stuff. When you're trying to pass through, and it dumps you in the middle of the downtown, trying to find the highway signs is like, It's like there are no highway signs. I guess I'll just keep going straight until I see some sort of confirmation that I'm either on the road I need to be or I'm not.
Yeah, you just kind of follow traffic.
But then at Memphis, once you cross the Mississippi River, I think it turns into the I-40. Okay. I-40 straight into Flagstaff. So then you're just on the 40 through Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle. There's nothing on the Texas Panhandle.
No tolls?
No.
Wow.
Then you roll through New Mexico into Arizona.
I would like to travel across the United States, but instead of being like every time you go, we got to get there in 24, you got a time schedule. I would like to hang out, like I would like to almost like take 1 month, or not even a month, maybe 3 weeks. 3 weeks would be cool, and just kind of stay overnight. And, like, okay, we're going to stop off at, Graceland, and we're going to hang out for a bit, then we're going to go there, and have like a little bit of touristy versions.
Well, yeah, me and the girlfriend kind of did that when we moved out here with the truck and everything. The girlfriend planned it, like I said, I just told you, I made it in 3.5 days from D.C. And I was driving like 8-10 hours a day, but it was like early November, because I left here the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
So it was November 1st that I went down to D.C., stayed there for 3 days, and drove out.
I like D.C., other than traffic sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go to the Smithsonian again. I'd like to go to the Smithsonian again.
Yes. Last time I went, other than it was pouring down rain, I loved it. Her and I had a great vacation, and we did not spend a lot of money.
Right. That's sort of
the nice we thing. Did a lot of stuff. We had a real diverse city, we rented an Airbnb, which was an old brownstone, and it was like
those are great.
We went to the basement apartment in a brownstone that was all made up modern.
That reminds me of when me and the girlfriend
take a bus here and there, and take a bus down to the Smithsonian, we're fine.
Yeah,
it was great,
dude. We should go to London on a trip.
You always say that. I know we do.
It is amazing. There's so much stuff to see. Like I didn't hardly get to see anything.
Yeah.
But dude,
America's huge though when you think about it. Like
it is.
People don't understand. Well, I mean, I'm sure we in America do. But it's like, man, like to travel from the top of France to the bottom of France would be like you and I going from Erie, Pennsylvania to, I don't know, Morgantown, West Virginia.
Well, to put it in perspective, in America, we have New England.
Yeah.
Which is like what? Maine, Massachusetts,
that
Vermont,
whole upper,
New Hampshire, right?
12 colonies?
No. The 13 colonies was all the way down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, those all became states. But the New England area.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That little area of New England.
Yeah.
That's the same size as England. The whole country.
The whole country.
That's including Scotland, Wales. The whole country of England is the size of our New England.
Yeah.
It's the same latitudes too.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, and to them, they're like, I'm not going to go to the other side of England. That's on the other side of
But it's only a few hours away.
But people who live in Boston have no problem going back and forth to the cities and,
Oh, yeah. I mean, but I mean.
I feel like Americans, we're a lot more, like our scale of the world's bigger. And we, we have no problem. Like, oh, God, Yeah. I mean, you meet any good road comic, I mean, we just get in the car and go. It's like.
Well, almost.
Even musicians don't travel like comics do.
Right. Yeah.
In the car, putting more miles on the car.
Well, I mean, you keep saying car, but I mean, all the comedians I hear about, they're flying.
Well, they're top tiers, but
yeah, that is true.
Top tiers, but there's a lot of flying too, or driving.
Yeah, Segur and Kreischer. Well, I guess the more local stuff. Segur and Kreischer used to talk about how they became friends, like driving, 2 hours north of LA to some, comedy club at some resort somewhere or something,
Yeah.
Just like a couple-hour drives.
But like some of the guys, like, I got a gig in Latrobe. Like I figure I got to drive 3 hours to Latrobe, just for and you go. But that would be a pretty big deal in an English sense,
Yeah.
I
think you could go from one side, west to east on the country
in 3 hours.
Well, we took a train from London up to Edinburgh, Scotland. Yeah. It took 5 hours. And that's a train.
Yeah, 5 hours. Well, 5 hours. I know from Erie here to Cedar Point, it's 3.5. So you keep going. So it's like 6 to Chicago. Yeah, 5.5, 6. Yeah.
Did you ever drive it from here to Chicago?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 times.
I did it with a girlfriend that one time, and boy, I don't know. It just wore on me.
It does. Those roads up there. Yeah, by the time you get to like Gary, Indiana.
Yeah,
like,
Indiana was rough.
Gary, Indiana. Pothole after pothole after pothole.
I think we got caught in construction stoppage in Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucked.
Yeah, and then all the cornfields around Sandusky, Ohio, so you're going through the cornfields of Ohio, not the fun part of Ohio. You're going through cornfields.
Not the fun part of Ohio.
Is there one?
I haven't actually seen much of Ohio.
Oh yeah. I've done all the Ohio. So the Ohio's got a little of everything. It's kind of, it's not too bad. It's just got a lot of everything and nothing too real super great, but enough that you go, there's cornfields. There's hills.
Seems like everything's along the top, Cleveland and over to Toledo.
You got your Cincinnati Columbus hub down there.
But that's down the east side of it.
Yeah, and then you got and that'll lead you into the Kentuckys and the whole area down there.
If you want to go there.
If you want to keep going. But, the Cleveland Akrons and the farther than that, you go into like the Dayton's. Dayton's nice, all right. Dayton's cool. Dayton's got a great comedy scene.
Let's see. What is there? Yeah,
Ohio's not too shabby.
Oh, no, I guess I was completely wrong.
Little of everything.
Yeah, Columbus is like in the middle.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati sort of.
Down, yeah.
Yeah, down there. It's not far from Indianapolis, Lexington, Louisville, Bloomington.
Yeah, see, that's a smart area to go because I would say like Cincinnati's kind of affordable. It's all very diverse, but then you're really close to like the Indianapolis, the Louisville, all those cities around there. You've got places to work, places to go. Gigs to be had.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati is pretty close to Dayton and Springfield up then you're in Columbus area, Huntington, West Virginia, Lexington, Kentucky, Louisville. I mean, I guess so. But I mean, yeah.
But everything's still kind of mid-grade. It's not like, wow, it's not like California, but everything's kind of mid-grade and dirty, but all right.
And it's like a spider web of roads.
Yeah.
Like it's all very accessible.
Yeah.
Like where we're at, because of the mountains and stuff, there's the road going across the north, like the 90, which goes from Boston to Seattle, 79 straight down to Pittsburgh.
Are we born people here?
No, I don't know.
With geographics?
No.
Local geographics?
Everybody, pull out your map and follow along.
I know, yeah. We better move on.
All right.
Ohio's cool. Thumbs up to Ohio. Shout out. Hey, I got something for you, Mike.
All right. Lay it on me.
Let's hope this doesn't get too far. Well, we got about 10 more minutes we can do.
I'm looking to see if I got anything else worth talking about. Not too much.
We could save some of this, but I've been making a list. Now, here's my idea.
Checking it twice?
Oh, yeah. I'm making a list because I'm going to make a book. I'm making a coffee table book.
You mentioned something about this. So it's going to be a coffee table book?
Though I hate to give it away over the pod because I don't want anyone to steal my idea.
It's a coffee table book about coffee tables?
No, and it turns into a coffee table. No, this would be, I wish Hollywood wouldn't do that.
Oh, so it's a coffee table book about overused movie
tropes and things
cliches.
Like that, things that I don't like, but it would have pictures of movies that it's like, number one. Now there's no particular order, but let's just say number one. You open the book, here's page one, you got car tires that always screech.
Even
on dirt.
Movies. In the movies, yeah. Anytime they start or stop, even on dirt, gravel, snow.
They were doing it in Stranger Things constantly.
Yeah, the tires always squeal.
Every time there's a shot of a car tire, it screeches. Stranger Things had Jeep tires that were squealing on dirt.
Yeah. It's
So that was my movie trope. I hate that. Stranger Things, I picked up on it like, this is crazy. I can't take this. But then another movie I was watching did it, and then they did it in a commercial, and then I was like, wait a minute.
You know what? I got
this
an example.
Has been a thing.
I got an example of something like that I've been noticing recently as a new trend in filmmaking. But before I do that, I want to tell you. So my volley back to the tires squealing on every surface is the classic. Anytime anybody steps up to a microphone in a TV,
that's on the list. Yeah, I added that to my list because I liked how you said that. Yes, I got that on.
It's always feedback. They step up to the mic and it goes. Woo.
Yeah, there's the crowd of people, and the girl walks up. It's poet night or open mic night, and she goes, "Hello."
Yeah. And that
microphones don't do that.
No, they really don't. That can happen, but I mean, if you want to make a mic feedback, put your hand over it like this.
Yes.
Then it'll go,
or point it towards the speaker.
Oh, then you're talking Jimi Hendrix level of shit. That's literally the feedback loop.
Yeah, but it's always the awkward moment. It's kind of like the record scratch, but a subtle version, of the microphone feedback.
Every time.
Yes.
Especially in like
the quiet,
stuff that doesn't matter. Like, if you're watching like Nickelodeon.
I think I saw that. They did that even just now. What's that movie that, what's his name's, Will Arnett's playing the stand-up comic. Is this thing on, the new one?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden it's like him, he's literally at the Comedy Store, walks right up, and it's his first night up, and he's like...
Yeah, they always put it in to show somebody who's nervous about talking into the mic.
Yeah, it's just to establish and I don't know what that is. It's a movie trope that Hollywood has to stop.
That sucks.
And then what I would do for my coffee book, okay, so those are two examples. So that would be the trope on the one open page. And then you'd have pictures from the movies that they're examples of. You'd have the trope in the middle, and then you'd have pictures like, oh, remember when the tire squeals happened in Stranger Things? You have a picture of that. And then you'd have a picture of, oh, it happened in Gran Torino. Oh, it happened in this. It happened in E.T. So you'd have all this. So you'd be talking about it.
It would always be funny because it's all sound design, right?
Yeah.
So, we used to do that sort of thing in like film school or whatever. Like I sound designed my student short film we shoot on film.
Yeah.
Which has no sound.
True.
I sound designed mine. People thought I shot with sound. They're like, oh, you shot with sound? I'm like, nope. I'm like, I put all that in.
Well, because we're audiophiles, whereas these younger kids aren't audiophiles. We come from audio land.
They didn't think about audio at all.
Yeah, fucking idiots.
Oh, the easiest thing in the world to do, if you're shooting with like no sound at all, I stood out in my driveway with this portable recorder and a shotgun mic. I just stood there for 10 minutes and just filmed and just recorded.
Yeah.
And it's just background tone. Planes flying overhead, cars passing
by,
whatever.
Yeah. You're almost recording pink noise.
It's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then I went out there and I got Foley sounds from my car because we had somebody like go into the car. So I'm like, oh, I need the sound of the door opening. Open the door. Need the sound of the door closing.
Right, and then you just kind of cut and paste it.
You get the door closing from outside. You get the door closing from inside. You get putting the keys in the ignition. You get the car starting. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Windshield wipers, turn signal.
Yeah.
Just record it all. You just get little snippets and you time it up and put it in.
Okay, here's another one.
Fun.
Why, another movie annoyance, turn the page, bad guys are always bad shots. They're bad aimers. But the good guys are perfect marksmen.
This is like
Walking Dead's a dead giveaway where it's like, all right, here comes the bad guys.
I feel like this goes right back to Stormtroopers.
Oh,
in Star Wars.
Terrible shots.
Yeah.
Oh, but Han Solo, right between the eyes.
Yeah, every shot.
Yeah, everyone's a marksman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, to that end, when we were kids in movies, they'd have a 6-shot revolver, and they'd shoot like 25 times. Never have to reload.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a definite thing.
Or the machine gun that never runs out.
Yeah.
Like Rambo, he never runs out of bullets.
That was definitely a thing when we were kids, and then the filmmakers.
Yeah, that was a '90s thing where they never ran out of bullets.
That was a '70s thing.
Oh, that too.
'60s and '70s thing.
Yeah, and those old war movies.
Yeah.
Like Bridge Too Far, they never ran out of movies.
Yeah.
But okay, well that goes into the next one. Cars are not bulletproof. We all know this. But they're bulletproof when they need to be. But when they're not, they explode into a giant mushroom cloud. You know?
Cars are super not bulletproof at
No.
all.
If I shot a Ford Taurus it would go right through both sides.
Right through both sides, whoever's in the
Stranger
seats.
Things, no, the Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
And then nobody hits the tires. It's like, if I'm shooting at a car, you'd think the tires would be the first place you go, oh, you want to go? You're not going anywhere.
Right? Or, I mean...
What are they, bulletproof tires?
Up in the front, shoot through the radiator.
Yeah.
Like, if that engine overheats and seizes up, they're not going anywhere.
I know. Well, when they want to do that,
definitely
when Dirty Harry does it, yeah, he can stop a truck. But
well, because he's got that 44 Magnum. It's the most powerful handgun in the world.
Right. Oh, yeah, but when the U.S. Army is trying to stop your Ford Taurus coming at you.
I guess it depends on the gun. You know what I mean?
But habitually, the bad guy's a terrible shot.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of times it's military bad guys. So, and it's like, you're military. You should be taking them out in 2 seconds.
Right.
But the military are always bumbling.
But what was the other thing you were saying about the bad guys? You were saying that the bad guys never think that they're bad? Oh,
well, that's a whole nother peeve. That's
right.
a whole double chapter I have on that.
Yeah.
Well, you call it mustache twirling, which I like. Mustache twirling.
Well, mustache twirling that's the old Snidely Whiplash. That's the all like, wait till they get a load of me.
Yeah.
Just being evil.
Wait till they drink the water.
Yeah.
I'll put my poison in the water.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bad guys don't do that. Bad guys do not know they're bad guys. That's
right.
my point. Hollywood needs to wake up to this. Some smart writers know that they can make their villains likable or not know that they're bad guys.
Well, the thing is,
but stop with it. Maybe it's an actor thing, maybe it's a director thing, but they always go into this whole, and they start talking, and there's a timbre to the tone.
Timbre.
Yeah.
It's written timbre, pronounced
and it's
timbre.
just so shitty.
That's what I thought was interesting about Heath Ledger's Joker what was that, The Dark Knight or whatever?
Yeah.
Because normally you'd figure it's just mustache twirling. Woohoo, I'm the Joker. Woohoo, we're going to cause chaos. Woohoo.
We'll get Gotham, we'll burn it to the ground.
And there's no method to the madness.
Yeah.
But, he brought to the character, and they did with the writing or whatever, a certain logic to it all. Like, it wasn't just the chaos. The chaos was a means to an end.
Right. And, why do they always want to destroy Gotham? It's like, you live there. Why do you want to turn it into a parking lot?
Well, actually, they were flooding it. They were always flooding Gotham.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's why I like the Penguin series, because Penguin, he didn't realize he was a bad guy. He felt he was the good guy.
Right. 100%. And that picks up right after the Batman movie, where they did flood the city. So when Penguin starts, don't forget, everything's flooded.
Yes.
They just flooded. I mean, that's
the best bad guys don't know they're bad guys. Tony Soprano doesn't know he's a bad guy. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He knows he makes mistakes.
Have you watched The Sopranos?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, but he's kind of walks the line. He knows.
He's definitely struggling with, is he a bad guy?
Right. But what's an example? Like I said, Penguin was a good version where he didn't know he was bad.
No, he 100% thought that he is doing what he needs to do to get in a better position in life, and that's the genius of that show, is that whole first season, you're buying into it and you're rooting for him and you're agreeing with him, and then at the last episode of that first season, you're like, oh, he is a bad guy. He may not realize it, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah, he is fucking, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, a prime example is,
so good.
I hate to say our president. Okay, but here's another major peeve. Now, I could save some of these if we want to ever come back to this whole situation, but this is fun. You pointed out this one, flashlights. Why are they always bright? Why are they always LED? We're filming something from 1950. We're in a 1950s scene.
Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, Welcome to Derry is a prime example. They got these bright-ass LED lights. The batteries never die.
No.
Batteries in 1950 last about 10 minutes. And
batteries in the 70s and 80s lasted about 10 minutes. They all had this weak little filament bulb in them.
Yeah, and they were yellow.
So the light is an incandescent bulb, so it was always a yellowish cast to it.
And there's no beam.
No beam, because it was weak.
Yeah, and it was terrible. And let alone not waterproof.
No, not at all.
No, the second that got even the amount of humidity, you'd be you're hitting come on.
Like Stranger Things is like set in the 80s or whatever, and they're who was the kids riding the bikes on the street? Was that the Welcome to Derry?
Yeah.
Or Stranger Things? These kids are riding these bikes down the street, and they got these strong, powerful beams of this bluish daylight balanced light.
These metal, they're almost like police grade ones.
Yeah, like the mag lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which weren't even invented yet. So this whole trope of bright flashlights is annoying.
Bright, strong, reliable flashlights if it's a period piece?
Yes. They do that somehow. Oh, well, they do it in cave shots too. I like the cave shot where all of a sudden there's a little bit of light in there and you go, where's the light coming from? And the one guy has a flashlight. But caves are pretty goddamn dark.
Well, in cinematography, that's called motivated lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay. But I'll let that one slide. I'll let cave lighting slide. But flashlights, yes, you pointed that one out.
Yeah. Well, the flashlight thing, I mean, you could definitely tell what's going on. If you watch anything that's from the actual time period, when they turn on a flashlight, you can barely see it.
Yeah.
That's how it was when we were kids.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of smacking the flashlight trying to get it to work. Oh.
And then when they did a good job of it, weirdly enough, was that weird 80s thing. What was the one where the kid was captured and he was laying on the bed and he had the little toy? What was the movie we reviewed?
Black Phone.
Black Phone, yes. And the kid had like a little thing. And it was like one of those little lights, those pen lights like we used to have as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really dim, and it barely worked.
Yeah.
And he's like using it like that. That's how they were.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, it was terrible.
They never worked. The batteries were always dead.
And the flashlights and the best we could get was a flashlight that kind of looked like this. Remember these?
Oh, yeah, those were great.
Mom and Dad would have one of these in the utility drawer.
Well, because around here,
ever ready.
When we were growing up, the power always went out.
Now let me guess, this won't work. Oh, look.
Yeah, look at it. That's exactly
it's flickering.
It's barely working. That's it. Look how yellow and weak the beam is.
Yeah. And when I move it, it stinks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a classic.
Now, if I was riding my bike and then I ended up in the tunnels and then I fell in 9 feet of water, this thing ain't working.
Not a chance in hell.
But in the movies, it's working.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it's a period thing and I see those strong bluish daylight tinted,
LEDs.
You can see the beam. Yeah, that's anachronistic.
Yeah. So not only the bulbs are different, the batteries was the main culprit.
You know what I did find funny with Stranger Things, sort of on this topic, is they were so desperate to try and cram modern technology into their period piece. That's why they got Dustin running around with that fucking walkie-talkie all the time, because it's supposed to be like a cell phone.
Yeah.
So people can get a hold of them. And what was the other thing? Oh, when they embarrass Eleven at the dance, spoiler alert, the one kid's got one of those giant VCR video cameras just to get footage of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's like, nobody had those. Nobody had those outside the house.
No.
That was a big project.
Yeah, the school might have had one.
Yeah, but
if you're in the AV club.
They weren't breaking it out at the high school dance.
No, and they weren't, and you would have to have they had a cord. Like a backpack power cord.
Yeah, battery pack.
Yeah, or they'd have a battery belt pack. Yeah, that was not
no
movable.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, did you have to have a whole small VCR and on a bandolier thing and then the camcorder?
Yeah, I thought so.
I never had one.
I remember somebody filming one in grade school, using one of those, like was filming like the sports thing we were doing, and the cords were running right out of it, right into like the VCR and the TV, like a monitor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, the cart.
Yeah, you could hook up like an SDI cable.
Yeah, there was no wireless about it. There was a big long cord. There was many cords.
Yeah.
There was a snake.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crap.
Yeah.
All right, now, okay. Well, this ties into we've talked about this one before. Bands playing live. Always a big gripe of mine.
And especially with the outdoors thing.
How about when band members talk to each other?
What do you mean?
You ever see like the movie Rockstar? They're on stage and they're like, "You asshole! One of these days, I'm gonna get you."
Oh, and talking while they're playing?
Yes, and they're playing the song. No. You can't hear anybody. And if there is, you're kind of going.
Yeah.
You might mouth something, but there's no. I'll get you for this, you dumb idiot.
Yeah, and then the other person furrows their brow and looks at you like, what?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work. But my other peeve, and it's always been, is actors who don't know the chords. So they're so say the kid's a drummer, he's playing it wrong. Guitar players who aren't even in the same zone. I mean, I don't expect them to be perfect, but at least get the fingering.
No, but I mean, sometimes they're not doing any fingering.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of no fingering, yeah, it was like I said, Mike Gripe was like Jimi Hendrix getting played by Andre 3000.
Tragic.
He was nowhere near it.
Tragic.
Yeah, it was painful.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he does know how to play guitar.
Oh, he does. He plays right-handed. He couldn't play left-handed.
That's it. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I could see that. Because if somebody gave me and they're like, "You got to play left-handed," I'm like, I don't know if I can make this look convincing.
it'd be weird. Yeah, and kid actors a lot. Now we're about to review in the movie review for this week.
The Shlicketty
DooCast. Stay tuned Thursday. We got a new episode coming out, and we did Metal Lords. These kids did a good job as far as knowing the chords. The kid was on a Jackson Flying V playing the chords.
Jackson Flying V. Yeah. The kid doing the guitar playing was pretty good.
The drummer was a little bit weird.
Yes.
He at least was on the hi-hats and snares when he was supposed to be. But he kept lunging towards the...
He was really lunging for that crash.
And people don't really lunge for those cymbals like that.
No.
But that's all right.
Unless you're Pat Benatar's drummer.
Yeah, I let that one slide. But at least when he was on the ride cymbal, he was playing on the ride cymbal. So he was in the zone.
It seemed like his timing was on. It seemed like he had the hi-hat together and whatever.
I've definitely seen worse.
He was doing yes. I've definitely seen worse.
Here's a prime example of worse. Machine Gun Kelly playing Tommy Lee in The Dirt.
I got to rewatch The Dirt. I only watched it once.
That's a bunch of junk.
I only watched it once.
It is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen. Not only is Motley Crue a pile of crap, that movie is a pile of crap knockoff of them. Yeah. It's so cartoonized. You could tell they wrote their own story like they think they're the greatest thing ever. Stinks. All right.
What about that Tommy and Pam movie?
I have not seen that one. With
really?
The Seth Rogen remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've not seen that. I've been saving that. That's one of those. We should review that one.
It's a series.
Oh, it's a series. It's not a movie.
I'll watch it with you and talk about it.
What was it
called? Tom and Pammy. Or
Pam and Tommy?
Tommy and Pam or something.
Yeah. But Seth Rogen was in it, and he plays the guy who steals the tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, in that musical realm we've been talking about, I always hated this one. Here's another trope they do. Hearing the live stadium crowd overlay, but it's a club scene. So there's the band playing and you hear...
Yeah, 80,000.
Yeah. Chances are, if you're in a small bar and you're playing, the crowd doesn't make too much racket.
No.
They make racket in between things maybe, and you might have some bar noise, but you're not going to have this all, they don't yell and scream,
Not. It sounds different. Once again, doing Foley for movies and stuff like that, doing sound design for movies, the crowds sound different depending on the size.
Yeah.
If you got to come up with a crowd cheering for like a comedy club, it's 100% different than a stadium full of soccer fans.
Yes.
Sounds different.
I've seen when they they'll add like just a different kind of crowd overlay, and it's at the wrong time. Like I said, that crowd overlay should not be playing all through the montage of. Well, they kind of did it in that movie Metal Lords we were just talking about. They're playing the Battle of the Bands, but as the song's playing, you could hear overlaid louder than the music.
Yeah.
And it's like, unless it's part of their imagination, it's not like that.
Okay, so here's the thing, and it came up in Metal Lords, and it, to me, was super glaring. And I get it. They're not dealing with the actual nuts and bolts of stuff in Metal Lord, because we're dealing about a metal band situation.
Yeah.
Volume. This was my issue.
Okay.
The one kid's a drummer.
They didn't mic the drums.
They weren't even dealing with the fact of how loud a drum set is. They were not getting it anywhere close. Your brother's a drummer. My brother's a drummer.
Yeah.
We played in bands a good chunk of our lives. Drum sets are incredibly loud.
Especially on the top end cymbals, and depending how cracky a snare can be, crack.
Super loud.
But cymbals, and how disruptive that tone is. Yeah.
They're very
and there's
loud.
No talking over it.
There's no talking over it. Plus, you need those giant amps like on a bass-wise, you need at least 300 watts to stand up to a drum set.
Yeah, and guitar-wise, you ain't gonna overpower shit until you get to 50 watts.
Well, depending
you might be able to do it with a strong 40.
You know what? Depending on if it's tube.
Yeah, the tube 40, 35, you can do it, but barely. Because I had a tube 35 watt guitar amp tube, and I was fighting the cymbals, but close. Yeah. I could win, but not really, barely. It was neck and neck.
My old singer Brandon had some sort of like one of those like Fender, Fenders with like, I don't know, like 4 10-inch speakers in it.
Or 2 12s.
Yeah, I think it was like
a combo kind of little thing.
Yeah, something like that. And it was all tube. And one day no one was home, so I'm like, oh, check out this amp. I plugged it in. Dude, it was so loud, I got scared. I was like, oh shit, I better turn that fucking.
Yeah. Tube's louder than solid state.
Crushingly loud. I've only had solid state.
Oh.
I have never had a tube amp.
Oh. Yeah, when they heat up, they're good. Yeah, they're nice.
Man, you did have a tube amp.
Yeah, I did. All my guitar amps were tubes.
Oh, really?
Vox. Yeah, I have the Vox. I have the Paul Reed Smith amp. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess because for me, in my mind, like solid state amps wise, you need a 100-watt guitar amp and a 300-watt bass amp to get over top of a drum set. Drum sets are incredibly loud.
Incredibly loud. Yeah, and there's no talking over it, let alone talking to the person next to you. You could be next to the person talking, and the second your drummer starts playing, we got to get out of here. We'll finish this outside.
Dude, the people upstairs can't talk either.
Yes.
It's ungodly loud.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's a pet peeve. All right, here's another.
Get that right.
Now, my girlfriend pointed this out. You might not know this, but every doctor show is wrong. Doctor lingo, hospital lingo is wrong. Hollywood, spend the extra money, get some people in there that knows the shit. Doctors do not wear stethoscopes outside around their necks. Stop with that. They never use the word stat. They need to get real people in there to advise a scene. How hard is this? It's kind of like if you're making a movie about musicians, get some real musicians in there to kind of tell you how it really goes.
Technical advisor.
Yeah.
Like that, so they do for war movies.
What's happening in hospital land is not happening. Like, we were watching something the other day, and she said, that's not even the right machine for what they're doing. They just wheeled in some machine.
Dude, well, I can tell you, I can't tell you how many sci-fi movies I've seen where I've seen the controls of a spaceship. It's like, well, that's just an old video switcher.
Right. Yeah. You'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, it's like they'll show the controls of a spaceship, and you're like, well, that's just a VCR.
Yeah, that's an old mixing board.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
All right. And, okay, I got 2 more to go. Here we go. How about strobe lights whenever the bad guys are near? This is a 90s trope, early 2000s. It would do it in like everything from I Know What You Did Last Summer on down to whatever. And it would be, all of a sudden, you'd see a light in the background. Flicker, 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 flicker over there, strobe light flicker. The lights start dimming when the bad stuff's about to happen.
So I got a couple of thoughts on this.
That's annoying.
First thought is that
unless it's paranormal, it's pointless.
Right. They definitely do that.
I'll let alien and paranormal stuff do that. Okay, fine. But when you're talking about when the hack'em slash'em's about to happen,
I feel like sometimes they use it in conjunction with what they call in filmmaking a Dutch angle or Dutch tilt. The Dutch tilt is when you take the camera and you put it cockeyed.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's not level, everything's all askew. It lets you know you're in Crazyville. It translates to the audience that
I like it. Okay.
Things are off balance now. Hitchcock did this a lot. So if you get a Dutch angle, I feel like sometimes they throw that strobe light in to make it off kilter in the way that they would use a Dutch angle.
Remember how we were talking last week about MTV and how young filmmakers 101 was let's make videos.
Right.
Well, the video generation brought in the use of the strobe light and the smoke machine and the strobe light. And I feel like it leaked over and they become young horror movie aficionados and they're making their full-length scare movie. And here we go, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and the guy's got the ice pick, and there all of a sudden the lights start flickering.
Well, okay.
And you get your angle, your Dutch angle, your talk, and you might even get like, oh, okay, all right, the shadows.
Although sometimes in those horror movies, I've seen it used really effectively when it's like you can see the killer here, and then it's black. Then you can see again, and now he's this close.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like it's like,
yeah, that's scary. But yes.
That's scary. But my other thought is, and it may have started with the horror stuff, and then translated into the early video games. And
I can see video games doing that.
Because you're not a gamer, so you don't know.
Yeah.
But
I can picture old Silent Hill and stuff like that doing that.
The faulty ceiling light or the elevator light that's flickering or whatever.
Yeah, the abandoned morgue. And the lights flickering over the stove.
It's ubiquitous, man. That's in everything.
Okay, all right.
Like that, and like the air ducts or / sewers are, these are video game staples.
Oh yeah. Or how the weight of an air duct can hold some. We learned this in Die Hard that he could crawl through an air duct. Now, if you or I crawled through an air duct, we'd be on the floor in 10 minutes.
Well, that's the Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Right.
Where they're doing the break into the Rock and Roll History Museum. They're right. The way that girl says that line reading just drills itself into your brain. And Jack Black's crawling through because he's talking. There was more of a storyline, like an analogy to like video games and stuff that they didn't end up doing in the movie because they ran out of time and money and stuff. But he's crawling through the air vents, talking about like in a video game, crawling through the air. And then at one point, he gets to a section that's not supported, and he just falls the whole section.
The whole thing.
Yeah, that's how it would really be.
Yeah, that's really what would happen.
It's very thin metal.
Yes. Yeah. Little. Yeah. And this is my major peeve as a glasses wearer.
Oh yeah. You told me about this one.
The Harry Potter. Don't make me. I want to fight people when I see Harry Potter. Now, Harry Potter's doing Quidditch matches. He's fighting lizards. He's doing his whole thing.
Fighting lizards.
No, fighting the snake.
Harry Potter versus the gecko.
Yeah. He falls in the lake. He gets up. His glasses are always on his head. His glasses never fall off, let alone fog up.
Well, that goes back to the...
He's got wire rim glasses. Those would have been broken in a half hour.
Well, that's
Unless
actually...
he has magic glasses, but...
That's actually a thing it's a thing in the books and the movies.
What? His glasses?
His glasses are broken when we first meet Harry Potter.
Well, good.
His glasses get fixed. In the movie, Hermione fixes his glasses on the train, the Hogwarts Express. Technically, in the world, that's misuse of underage magic. So she could not do that. In reality, in Diagon Alley, Mr. Weasley fixes Harry's glasses. It's a spell called Reparo. So it's definitely a thing in the books.
Well, okay, but yes, I've seen other movies.
His glasses do not come off the way Indiana Jones's hat does not come off.
Yes.
In Raiders
I
of the Lost
forgot
Ark.
about that one. That should be there, yeah, but that's up there with the glasses.
Which they put that in as an homage to those old 1930s serials of those sort of like action hero movies where the hero's hat never falls off, which is like a Western movie thing.
Yeah. But even more, I can understand glasses not falling off. I'm on board with that. Okay, I'll grade them on the curve on the not falling off. It's the fogging up part. I don't know about you. You go from humidity to non-humidity, you walk inside, outside, your glasses instantly,
Yeah.
There's no, there should be more fogging up of the glasses. This is crazy. What are we doing here? Or they just overlook it for the sake of continuity of Hollywood. It's just like...
Yeah, you're right. I don't recall in those Harry Potter movies any shots of him
wiping his glasses and wiping on his shirt.
Yeah, taking the glasses off or anything like that.
And smudging them up,
Yeah, it's never like they come in from like a cold, damp outside to the warm, dry inside, and his glasses fog up. And he's like, I don't know, Ron.
In the sewers. He got soaked in the sewers and then wrestled with that giant snake, and his glasses are totally fine. I was like, this stinks. What do we do?
Yeah, good point. It was pretty wet down there. Everything was wet down there. Right?
Yeah, I got super mad, and everyone's like, oh, come on, it's Harry Potter. Stop yelling at it. Yeah.
Now, how many of those have you seen?
I've seen them all. I've seen them. I just don't know the names of them, but I've seen them all. Yes, I've definitely seen them all. And let's see. Yep. So let's see. The glasses never fog up. And the very last but not least, and we can wrap it up with this one. Can we stop with the bad guy jump scare at the end? I think they learned it all from Friday the 13th when he pops out of the water.
Carrie.
Oh, Carrie, you're right.
Remember that at the end?
Is that where it started?
Yes.
And it hasn't stopped.
Because at the end...
Every show, every movie has to have one last
Well, because in Carrie, the spoiler, if you're going to watch the Brian De Palma version of Carrie, at the very end, someone goes, it's Carrie's grave, and someone goes to put flowers on the grave, and a hand comes up and grabs the wrist.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, you know.
Or the Friday the 13th when he comes out of the
lake.
Right,
but that's later. Because Carrie was like, what, 76?
Yeah.
And Friday the 13th was like, what, 79? 79?
Oh, 79, yeah.
Was it 81?
I don't know.
79.
But it's a thing. But they've been doing it. They even went as far as to do it in Stranger Things with Vecna, you know?
Yeah.
They do it subtly. Now, it's not quite a jump scare, but it's still like, oh, he's dead. And then they look over and go, oh, he's not dead. Let's kill him again.
I do sort of hate the jump scares. My girlfriend really hates the jump scares because they get her every time.
Yeah.
I'll literally say to her, baby, a jump scare is coming. Because you can tell the setup. Dude walks into the bathroom, goes up to the sink, opens the medicine cabinet, and the shot's shooting from this way.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
here,
And the second he closed that mirror, there's going to be something.
It's right behind it. Yeah. It's like, it's coming, baby. Jump scare is coming. Like, you can spot it a mile away.
Yeah.
Even though my girlfriend knows it's coming.
Yeah.
She still reacts to it because it's an instinctive reaction. It's like if someone throws something at your face, you're gonna you're gonna duck and pull away and close your eyes. It's just an instinctive reaction.
Yeah.
It's not skill. It's not scary.
No,
it's just a reaction.
And movie jump scare, they're a real big
cheap.
Like
lame.
I said, once again, I know what you did last summer. It's that kind of bullshit. They overused it in the early 2000s.
Oh,
it got to the point where it was like late 90s, early 2000s, where
it's so cheap. It's so cheap. It's like, come on, write something. Get some skill in your scene.
These were these movies that were like 2003, 2005 level. And once again, I think it came from our last conversation from last week. The MTV movie makers and the MTV generation watching videos taught these filmmakers to make things like this. And all those tropes ended up in movies.
100% it did.
Yeah, I mean, it was influenced. Like MTV actually influenced movie making.
It did 100% because there's a marked period in filmmaking, and it's around 1982, 83 with Flashdance and Footloose. Remember I was talking about those two because they had all the hit songs before the movie even got released? Those two movies were cut like music videos. Flashdance, not so much, other than a couple of key dance scenes. The dance scene where she auditions to get into dance school and the dance scene where she's at the strip club. Other than that, it's a very old school, traditional editing pacing of Flashdance. Footloose was a lot more influenced by the music videos. A lot more quicker cutting, things going on.
But those weren't the modern videos. Those were the 80s videos.
No, but the MTV quick cut editing is what it was called.
Yes, quick cut.
And that all coalesced in 1984 with Miami Vice.
True.
And Miami Vice made it mainstream.
Kicked open the door,
Miami Vice was cut like and looked like music videos.
Yes.
And it was set to music. It almost was a music video.
Yeah. So that merged the world. So that trained all these movie makers to go in that direction. So they were all kind of interchangeable.
Yep.
But then I think by the time you got to 2000, you've had all these tricks and all these technological tricks that happen. And you have the younger next generation who moves faster, who cuts faster, who has shorter attention spans. So they make a more frantic version of things, It does. It really does.
And if you look at a lot of like remakes and stuff like that, you can clearly see it. I mean, late 70s, early 80s movies.
Yeah.
Like Alien. The first Alien movie is very slow pacing.
Oh, it's painful.
Very slow pacing. It's a slow burn.
Yeah, it's like 2001. It's painful.
Then you jump forward like 7 years and you get Aliens in 86.
Yeah.
That's like, go. It's like a roller coaster ride.
All right.
Quick cut editing, strobe lights, all the sort of tricks.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty much for the list. Yeah, I think I got them all. Well, that was a fun list. This is a long episode. You might have to cut something out.
No, we're good.
You got an extra meat on the bone this week. All right, stay tuned. Thursday, we got a Shlicketty Review Cast episode, which will be Metal Lords.
Yep, if you want to watch along and play along, this comes out on Tuesday. You got Wednesday to watch it. That's what we do. We watch on Wednesdays.
Yeah, you can join us.
Yeah.
So there it is.
That's for the discussion. So like, subscribe, tell a friend, thanks for watching all the way through. You guys are the cool kids. It's fun hanging out with you. I hope you enjoy hanging out with us. Shoot us an email. Like, subscribe, notifications. Check out our merch. Go buy some merch. You can get a Lucky Juarez t-shirt. You can get a Mr. Furley tote bag. You can get a cool Shlicketty DooCast t-shirt. And we're going to make some Flickety Review cast. What, we got a mug?
We got a mug there.
Got a mug. Maybe we'll do a t-shirt.
I know.
So, all right, cool. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week. Hasta con fuego. We'll see you later.